Hello. Happy Monday. I am sending some Monday motivation your way, and I think it's important that we consider wisdom. We have to talk about wisdom, where it starts, how it is a tool for us to live this Christian lifestyle. I was chatting with a community partner, and it is so interesting. She was telling me that something had happened amongst the residents, and one of the residents got so upset that she said, "You know what? I'm going to take out my teeth and I'm going da 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 da." Wasn't very kind what she said to this other person. And as I was talking to this community partner, pardon me, who is a few years younger than I am, and sometimes we go into mentoring and talking about working in the community and working with people, she began to say, "But I kind of do understand where this woman was going because teeth are expensive. And if you're getting ready to get in the fight, just like back in the day, we take your earrings off, you want to take your teeth out." And my response to that was no. I said, absolutely not. I do not understand that. Do you want to know why? Because when you're younger and you're thinking you're going to fight and you're going to take your earrings off to be ready to battle, that's one thing. But when you have reached an age, and I'm not talking about for folks who lose their teeth at a younger age, I'm talking about you got some silver all up in your hair. When you have reached an age when if there is going to be a fight, before you consider and choose and decide to engage in a fight because someone has said or did something that you do not like, taking your teeth out before you're getting ready to whoop someone's tail, those two phrases should not come out of one person's mouth. Because at some point, when you grow, you should be at an age, especially you and me, baby. We are in this what? Christian lifestyle together. You're never at an age where I'm too old and you never know everything. If that's the case, then why even live? Because God can continue to help us to grow and to know, first of all, know Him better, understand ourselves better, have more understanding for others. So, saying that you are so upset that you're going to take your teeth out to whip somebody else's, that's just not right, because we need to be at an age where even if people had said something that we did not like, or they did something that we did not like, we should be able to voice and speak that you did not agree with the disrespect or the mistreatment, but why is it going to go to a point where you're getting ready to fight? Baby, listen, I remember. I don't know if I shared this here before. I think I did probably several videos back. And this was during COVID, and there was a situation at work, and I was fasting. And I remember just in hearing the voice of God, there was this situation at the desk, and I was in a meeting, and people kept wanting me to come to the desk. And at that time, I was just becoming livid. Like I could feel the heat building up, because I was being called to deal with the situation. And I had no exact idea what the situation was. So I was getting ready to walk into the situation with some preconceived thoughts of what someone else was trying to share with me but could not fully share with me because I was in a meeting. And so because I was continuously being interrupted, I was getting frustrated. And then from what people were trying to tell me, I was also becoming frustrated at this person that was causing the problems because it was unnecessary. And so I feel myself just getting hot and being annoyed. And I am almost ready to get up and go out there and just give this person a piece of my mind. But I was fasting. And as I stood up, just as calm as the sea at night, I heard a sweet voice say, put your dukes down. Put your dukes down. Like, and I am so grateful for that God shares with us wisdom and understanding. And there was no fight. Like, no, I'm not going to put my dukes down. No, because I know that wasn't me. Because I know that I was very frustrated and annoyed. And I wanted to give someone a piece of my mind. Yeah, and I was not at the point where I'm saying I'm going to take out my teeth and whoop someone's tail. But I wanted to surely give someone a piece of my mind because I felt like I kept being interrupted. But I just heard a sweet voice say, put your dukes down. And I don't even know if that's a phrase that I use. It was a phrase that I hadn't heard in such a long time. And I had to lean into that. And I had to take a second to really pause and use wisdom. So let's talk about wisdom. But first, hey family, hey friend, my name is Flo. This channel is called Flo Has Faith. On Mondays, I drop some Monday motivation for the week. And on Thursdays, I've been trying to get my whole entire life together to be on a health and wellness and fitness journey. And so if that's usually a vlog style, this is usually like a sit down and chat with you all style. So if you're interested, please do consider liking. Liking helps the channel a lot. Please continue to like every video. If you watch it, hit the like button. Subscribe, share it, and definitely comment below. So I want to focus on a couple of scriptures just talking about wisdom. Man, come on. We're at the big age, and sometimes the wisdom comes mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, but there has to come a moment when you know better, you do better. When you know better, you do better. To not know better, to know better and not to do better really is similar to that definition of insanity. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result each time. So if you see that one thing has not worked in the past, or you need to move past something to get a better outcome, then you need to start embracing that, baby. And surely, if you are at a big age where you have to take out teeth, pausing to say, I'm going to take my teeth out, and especially when you don't know who you are. So let's look at a couple of scriptures. And I just did a video on wisdom, but hey, baby, listen, we're doing it again because people out here taking out their teeth to fight. Not take off your earrings, take out your teeth. So, but seriously, let's look at some verses that we've talked about before. But just for you to consider when you feel like you are struggling, how do I manage my emotions? Because I'm feeling this fire. Like I said, it was building up because I was constantly being interrupted. But how do I manage all of that? Well, first of all, Psalm 105:22 says this. To bind his princes and his pleasure and teach his elders wisdom. That's not the one I wanted to read. I actually wanted to read. So Psalm 111:10 says this. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all those who do his commandments. His praise endures forever. Not your commandments, not what you want to do, but what does thus saith the Lord. A couple of more verses. Proverbs 1:2 says, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding. To receive the instruction of wisdom. And then Proverbs 1:7 says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. So let us not be fools. Let us not despise wisdom and instruction. Let us lean into fearing the Lord, remembering that his ways are not our ways, and his thoughts are not our thoughts. So knowing that his ways are not our ways, and his thoughts are not our thoughts, and knowing that his word says, I know the plans that I have for you, right? Plans to bring you hope and a good future. And he knows those plans because his thoughts are not our thoughts and his ways are not our ways. So let me just give you an example, a really frustrating experience this week with someone who I love dearly, but some folks, whether it's good friends or family members, there can be some people that you just kind of know how they are and how they roll. And whether we realize it or not, there are times when you can often look past it, but then there are times where it just catches you off guard and you are just like, this is what I felt. You have to be kidding me. It was very frustrating. I felt like it was someone being very selfish and inconsiderate, and it just annoyed me. And my thoughts would have been to respond from that space, even though I don't even think they realized what they were doing or what they said. My thought would have been to respond from that. And I almost did. But because tapping into wisdom, knowledge, the beginning of it is fearing the Lord, it was just like instantly I felt a sense to repeat that verse that I told you all earlier this month that I had been working on, which is, cause me to remember your loving kindness in the morning. Right. And even though it wasn't the morning time, I was just really praying to God that scripture, like, cause me to remember your loving kindness right now in this moment of frustration, because I'm not even asking for your loving kindness for me right now. I'm asking to be reminded of your loving kindness so that I can be more like you and move how you want me to move. And it's not always easy. I didn't feel like it. I didn't feel like it. I didn't want to be loving and kind. You ever have that? I don't want to, right? No. But God causes us to, He calls us higher. He calls us to be better. He calls us to do better. So I think that as we tap into wisdom, as we tap into knowing that the beginning of knowledge is fearing the Lord, and remembering that his ways are not our ways, and remembering that he is kind and loving and forgiving, and we too have to forgive, it will make us move differently. It will make us act differently. It will cause us to be wise. I have to tell you something else. It's getting warmer outside. I want to go out and do things. So I did decide to sign back up on the dating apps. And that is just not a strength for me, baby. That is where, over the years, I have lacked wisdom. This video has cut off so many times, but we are just about to wrap it up. So even with dating, help me make wise, godly decisions. No harm, no foul. I wish you love, peace, happiness, joy. If it doesn't click, then it just doesn't click. We need to fear God, do his will, follow his commandments in every area of our lives. We need to invite God in. We need to invite wisdom in. Because the one thing that I really enjoy about one of these scriptures, it says this. Proverbs 1:7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, of knowledge. But fools despise wisdom and instruction. This is a saying that I always use. It's one thing to be a fool. It's a whole nother thing to be an old fool. Once you got silver and gray in your hair, lean into God, fear him. It's very likely that you have more days behind you than you have in front of you. Lean into his wisdom. Stop reacting based off of your feelings, because that was a difficult situation this weekend. I was kind of really teed off, but I really had to just be like prayerful. And I don't mind those emotions because it reminds me that I'm human. It reminds me that I'm flesh. It reminds me that even though I have faith, I am not perfect. I fall short a lot. So I say I ain't no preacher or no teacher. I just love Jesus and I try to follow him, baby. But I fall short, y'all. So if you fall short, get back up, get back on it, choose wisdom. Do not be a fool. A fool despises instruction. As much as we see people these days that want to rebel and do their own thing, a fool despises destruction. I was reading a inspirational plan talking about wisdom, and it was talking about the difference between a fool and a simple hearted, like, and then it was based off the Bible. Like, a fool is someone whose heart has a heart problem with God, because you know what to do, but you just are being stubborn and you're not wanting to do it because you despise instruction. People that are simple minded, they're naive, so they don't know no better. But a fool knows better and still continues to do the thing that he shouldn't be doing. Baby, you and me, as we live this Christian lifestyle, baby, we're going to be wise. We're choosing wisdom. So this is more like a story time because I had two different experiences where I really had to tap into wisdom today. But I hope that as you go through this week, as you experience feelings, because we're human beings and we feel emotions, as you experience frustration, anger, stress, all the things, before you react to your feelings, take a deep breath, baby, and choose wisdom. Choose wisdom. Don't despise the instruction of God. Don't despise that he calls us to be loving and kind. Don't despise that he calls us to forgive. Don't despise it. Choose wisdom, fear him, and follow his ways. I hope you have an amazing, wonderful week. And God bless you real good.